My name is James Howlett, and I would like to thank everyone in advance for coming to this YouTube channel that I've made for my uncle, Mr. Larry Howlett, and my family at this point, because we are in desperate need of help. So I tried to put all of the information that I could in one place so that any elected officials or anyone who would do a criminal investigation into these sitting companies leveraging the threat of the state of Louisiana removing my uncle from our family if we didn't back off trying to have them as his payee, or any investigator or anyone concerned about or has an interest in what's going on here in Monroe, Louisiana, where these sitting companies are abusing the system. And they're using the system to launch an attack against our family because of our involvement with our uncle. They just basically are trying to perform a coup. And there's a lot of information on here. One thing I did want to point out is one of the more damning videos against the sitting companies that I have. I thought that I had it uploaded to this YouTube channel, and I don't. So I have to try to get that uploaded. In the meantime, you can still see that video. I originally tried to put all of this information on a Facebook page. So if you go to Justicefor Larry on Facebook, Justice for is one word, Justicefor. Second word, Larry, Larry. Not only will you see that video of audio that I have between me and Family's First Choice, a supervisor over there and the owner, and you're going to hear a whole lot of stuff on there. There's a lot of notes underneath there as well. It kind of explains what's going on. But on that video, you will hear them leverage his medication and his adult diapers against the family to try to get something that they want. He's a diabetic. He has hypertension. He has a host of medical issues. And because they weren't getting something that they wanted, they held his medication hostage, basically. And they paid for the co-payment for the medication, and held his adult diapers hostage to try to make us come to their office. Basically because they were losing money because they didn't have access to him. And they were trying to force us to come to the office. And how they decided to do that was to use his medication and his diapers. You'll hear the audio. It's horrible. And I would also like to point out to the mayor of Monroe, this is the customer service your families are getting. Because right or wrong, whatever the disagreement was, when you listen to that audio and you hear me try my best to reason with this company just to give my uncle his medication he could die without. He's a diabetic. If he's missing doses of his insulin, he could have a diabetic episode real easy. He also has hypertension. If he's not getting his high blood pressure medication, these are things that could cause they could have serious health implications for him. So the mayor, I would like you to understand that these rogue companies are operating within your city. So when you hear that audio and you hear the interaction between me and this company, then you'll know that these are not places that you want operating and taking care of the citizens of your city. You have the elderly and children are some of the more vulnerable citizens because they don't have the energy, or they don't have the physical or mental strength or the ability to stand up and fight for themselves. So in that case, and that's what's happening with my uncle. Because my uncle is not in a position to fight for himself, I'm fighting for him. And it could very well cost me my home in a matter of days because the sitting company abused the system. And what they did was they doubled down on me. I was working for the sitting company, taking care of my uncle, which I addressed also. The rest of the country doesn't, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through these sitting companies to do that. There's only a handful of states, and Louisiana is one of them that does that. And when you, I bet you those other states have failing programs as well, because these sitting companies, their interest is different. A family profits from the quality of life and the happiness and enjoying their loved one. They have an invested interest in that person's happiness. These businesses are just out for money, and you'll see that all throughout here. So I tried to come on here really to make a quick video just to let everybody know that one of the more damning videos is mislabeled on this YouTube channel. It says that if you look at one of those videos, it says that it's audio of the conversations between me and them, and it's not. What that video has on it is one of the accusations that was made against our family was that we were not feeding my uncle. And as I was in my uncle's apartment talking to him, one of the workers, the worker that is the main source of that accusation, is there as I'm making a video with my uncle. And then she speaks out and she says that, you know, he doesn't have the things that he needs. And then I let her speak. And during the course of that conversation, you'll hear, I asked her, so she said that he doesn't have breakfast and stuff like that. And I asked her, well, what do you do on days that he doesn't have breakfast? And she said, oh, well, I go in there and, you know, I make him some eggs and some toast and sometimes pancakes. And I'm like, you do realize that's breakfast, right? I mean, and I don't fault her at all. She is a senior herself. Real sweet lady. She's a senior herself, and her thing is, I got to know right on, because she would tell me these things when I first met her. She would tell me, oh, well, we don't have this or that. And I'll go in the kitchen and I'll look and it's all there. And I come to realize that she's an elderly person. She's taking care of other elderly people. And she's doing that. She just wants a sense of being appreciated. She just wants a sense of being needed and someone needing her. And I believe that's why she takes care of other elderly people too. And so whenever you come through the door, I mean, she has a list for you. She has a whole bunch of stuff. But it's, I don't think she means any harm. I think that she just has a need to feel needed as well. And Miss Lakeisha Weathersby, she jumped on that as an opportunity. And she used it. That's why if you look at the first videos, here I go, I'm like trying to, you know, go through the whole thing again, because it's so much and it's so frustrating and it's so easy to weed through this stuff and see who's telling the truth and who's not. But anyway, Lakeisha Weathersby, knowing that Miss Ola May had made that statement and knowing that there's nothing to the statement, you'll see that on the video. You'll see Miss Ola May go through what she feeds him and everything. So there was really nothing to it. This is just another old lady with wanting to feel needed, and she's a really sweet lady. But anyway, Lakeisha used that to make the original accusations that she made, because now she could say, well, according to our worker has reported to us that he's not having these things. But anybody that will go in the kitchen and look will see that he has those things. And she says it even right there on the video. That's why in the first video, you see that same person, Lakeisha, trying to distance herself from all the accusations. That's the biggest takeaway from that first video. When you scroll down the timeline and you see Miss Lakeisha in the yellow dress, notice whenever the questions are asked, at least 4 or 5 times, she tried to separate herself from being the source of the accusations to the police officer and why being filmed. But anyway, one last time, go to Facebook and go to Justicefor Larry on Facebook. That's JUSTICEFOR. That's one word, and then the next word, Larry, LARRY. And you'll see a lot of the videos that are on this YouTube channel, because I originally tried to put it on Facebook. But under those videos, it's going to have a ton of notes. And all of those notes under the video kind of help bring it to life and explain how it's important and what's all going on with that. And again, I would like to thank everybody that's taking the time out of their day to look at this, because I do want you to know that I understand that people's time is important to them and is valuable. And there's a lot going on this YouTube page, and it would take a considerable amount of time to go through it all. And I would just like to thank everybody that has taken the time to do that. Thank you. Bye.